Learning from many experiences, it's what's taught me to actually say to myself a lot of times never to trust a lot of people. You know, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, or pretty much that phrase is that don't trust everyone that you meet. Well, you get a little bit more of an experience about that every time. Now, this was actually supposed to be an angry rant, but I've kind of vented a little bit. Ever since my live streaming this morning of GTA with its new update for all that stuff, I've kind of been more relaxed than ever. But learning from experiences, there is someone who I wanted to, that I wanted to talk about, that was formerly a part of our group, who was formerly a part of us, and this was a long time ago that this person pretty much we banished because he was being completely out of control and acting very, very irrational and hostile towards people, and pretty much a certain person along with him had to, to leave because he was doing so much stupid things and things that were completely unacceptable. And then we've come to find out that maybe year or 2 years later after the fact that we were put on some sort of list or some sort of shit list or something like that. But so before I get into that topic of the individual, what this mainly is about is basically the effect that I have with the psychological paranoia that I have around people. I still believe, prior to my teenage years to now, I always had this feeling that I did something to piss someone off, have them distance themselves away from me, or alienate me for that matter. And I would pretty much constantly ask, did I do something to make you mad? Did I piss you off? Did I do something what did I do wrong? And I know that annoys a lot of people. Do not get me wrong, I know how that feels. But some of my friends would be like, hey, just relax, you didn't do anything wrong. Okay? Just stop doing that. Well, however though, unfortunately, I can't stop thinking about that, and I can't stop feeling about that because I keep experiencing the types of people that make me feel this way. It's not my friends, but the type of people I'm going to be talking about here. 2 of them in particular. There's actually 3, but the one I didn't actually get into any conversation or any hostile engagement with. So I'm talking about 2 particular people on separate accounts of the side. There was one person who I actually, was kind of a good friend with. She, in my eyes, I thought was pretty cool. I used to work with her, and I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to reveal anyone's information on this. Like I said, I have a decent moral, code when it comes to that. But I've worked with this person. I've also admitted, and also to remain in a professional environment when I'm working and with my my associates and stuff like that. I also try to at least remain professional, but still at the hand, just be myself. I have a flirtatious nature, but I know to control that a little bit more when I'm in a working environment. That's just how I am. So I tell this person, hey, I like you, yada, yada, yada. We got along. We started talking with each other. That pretty much worked out in the end. So eventually the person didn't work there anymore. I told them before they pretty much left, is that, hey, I liked you, yada, yada, yada. I asked twice. I was like, hey, you want to hang out at the movies? And it was like a maybe. I don't know. Can't make any promises. Just some other time. Okay, twice. Okay, maybe we'll see where it goes. Never happened. So, year or 2 later, not there. Christmas 2017, sent a message, hey, Merry Christmas. Hey, hope you're having a good Merry Christmas, yada yada. If I'm bothering you, I apologize. Pretty much. And then she ends up blocking me. Okay, why'd you end up blocking me? Well, eventually I found out recently, just a few weeks ago, that I still had her number. It was like, hey, can you, don't mind me, and it's not to rehash shit, but wow, I need to find out. It's like, hey, was there any reason why you blocked me on Facebook? I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, it's because my boyfriend doesn't want me talking to you. Please don't ever text me again. Huh. Well, if that was the case,
then why the fuck didn't you say so?
Then I gotta tell you, you gotta pretty much, you got a boyfriend who's got real insecure issues. I bet you're dating a fuckboy. Anyway. Now, moving on to the main topic, or pretty much the main course. A person who was a part of our group. This is the other side of pretty much my social life. The other side, part of our Facebook group, which, like I said, I'm not going to detail or mention, pretty much spouted off in such hostility and pretty much disdain for a lot of people, and decided for his stupid actions to get banished. And somehow myself and others were put on his shit list for some reason, which was beyond me. I didn't even know what I did to the poor bastard. And so, a lot of my friends, including myself, ended up getting these bizarre messages from him. He's just spouting off randomly. Obviously, I mean, we can all tell he was on drugs or whatnot. I don't know if it was heroin. I don't know if it was opium, GHB, or whatever the fuck he's taking. Possibly meth. I don't know. But, wow. Where to even start? Well, for one, bad-mouthing some other people that really didn't deserve it. Pretty much got into a hassle with one of my good friends. He tried to seduce a very good friend of mine who was dating someone at the time. Or I think this is before that. I could be wrong with my information there. But anyways, he tried to seduce her. She didn't want that. And so she ended up showing me the messages. And I was like, damn, this was fucked up. But in my case, it was pretty much the most bizarre. And I shared it with him because I ended up getting into a call with this dude. And he tells me that I'm his greatest gift to them. Now bear that in mind. That's not a compliment. Bear that in mind. I'm his greatest gift to the group. Pretty much like his gem for some reason. And then he starts spouting off. He's talking shit about my mother and my father, which, seriously, if I saw this dude in real life, I would have bashed his skull in. And I'm not trying to threaten here. That's just a feeling. But we never act on those feelings. But what he means by I'm his greatest gift to the group, that's another type of form of language saying that you, to me, in his eyes, I to him, are nothing more than pretty much a dumb piece of shit who was easy to manipulate. I was pretty much the most gullible out of his entire target of people. That he pretty much just used me. He was psychologically trying to get into my head. You know, I'm getting real sick of people like you. I honestly am. Thinking that you can just play around with my head, thinking that it's just some sort of puppeteer toy to you. I'll tell you something, you piece of shit. If you're ever watching this, you got a lot of shit coming your way. If you ever try this shit again. I may not be the brightest tool in the shed sometimes, but I sure shit ain't the dumbest. And I can tell when some stupid shit's going on, and you don't ever, ever, ever try to play with my mind like that. You don't ever try to manipulate. You fat, slobbering, ungrateful, drug addict piece of shit. You've got no right to manipulate me. You've got no right playing around with my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings, and my life. You don't have any right going around harassing and grieving people. You're a cancerous piece of shit. And I hope you see this. You know, I thought of myself as a piece of shit because some stupid things that I do to people. But wow, looking at you, take the fucking cake. You know, with me, I feel bad about the stupid shit that I do. And I don't do drugs on top of that. Now, I'm not going to say that everyone that does drugs is an asshole. I know people need to get help. I'm not going to take away from that. But you, specifically you who I'm referring to, the one who's been trying to play me, you better get yourself some fucking help. I tried talking to you like a human being, and you wanted to spout off some random stuff that sounded like Hyperion bullshit. And yeah, we're going with that phrase again, because that's exactly what it sounded like when he called me. And then he spouted off something about Nazism and Aryan race and all that shit when I was trying to talk to him as an actual human being. I was trying to be nice to him, trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with him. I really hope that the friendships of all of us over some fucking slut was worth it to you. And who the hell tries to get married at 3 months after a fucking relationship anyway? Sounding familiar? Well, anyways, I think this chain right here that I've been holding on is like a piece of symbolism. Chain of gullibility. Completely free from it. I'm so sick of people like you, and I'm so sick of people around thinking that they can just manipulate and try to fool people, deceiving them. Now, I'm not going to come off this whole self-righteous thing because I myself can lie about shit sometimes. I can be honest about that. Irony. But you know what? I at least try in the end to do the right thing. I like to be honest. Hope it was all worth it. Because you sure as shit lost a lot of people who actually did give a shit about you. And I'm done. Hope it was worth it. I'm signing off. No ending needed. Bye.